Welcome back, besties. This week I'm reading for 7 days straight through audiobooks. So for the next 7 days, I'm going to be listening to audiobooks 24 hours. Watch how I do it.
Could you please give me the ball? It's mine.
It is a new day. Yesterday I finished listening to Ever After Always and it was really good. So yesterday I listened to it at the pool for an hour and then I went home and I listened to it for like another hour because I had already started it. So I only had about like 2 hours left. It is a new day, which means a new audiobook, and I woke up at 6 a.m. this morning unintentionally. Like, I did not mean to. And I woke up starting Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, and I am so excited because this is one of my top 5 favorite books. It is a sports romance. Both of them are student athletes. Anastasia is a figure skater, and Nate Hawkins, I don't know why I said that so weird. Nate Hawkins is a hockey player. He's a captain of Maple Hills, and I love them both so much. This is my favorite book. You guys don't understand, but I think you guys understand because I talk about this book like multiple times. But overall, I'm 13% of the way in, and I'm glad I started early because this book is actually a little bit longer. So I'm glad I got a head start like earlier in my day because that means I have more time in the day to read this book. But now I'm gonna put on some headphones since I carved out a big chunk of my day to listen to this book and do some graphic design work and listen to it. Okay, so I am 31% in. I literally had to collect myself because right when I turned on the camera, it was still playing, but it turned on a smutty scene, like literally the smutty scene. I don't even know what to say. I don't have words. I was like, literally, I was about to pause it. Like my finger was on like the pause button of my headphones and the words just kept on coming. Anyways, I have a little update. I'm 31% of the way through. I am listening to it at 1.55 speed. My other audiobook that I listened to yesterday was 1.85, and I had to slow this one down because this morning I realized that it was a little bit too fast for me. I feel that the experience of the audiobook is not the same as physically reading. I feel that when I was reading it, I was getting so much more butterflies, and I don't know if it's because like this is my second time hearing it or experiencing the story, but I'm not getting like butterflies again. But also, I do this thing with all of my favorite books where I always go back and like reread my favorite scenes like all the time. So like, yes, this is technically my second time reading my book. I don't know why I said my book, I meant this book, but it's probably like my 20th time rereading like specific scenes. Hey besties, I am back at the pool because this is my favorite 5 to 9 activity after my 9 to 5. I currently have a bowl of berries and my audiobook in, which is literally the dream. Like I could not ask for anything else. Welcome back, besties. It is a new day. Yesterday I listened to Icebreaker and that was very cute, but it was a little bit predictable, but that is expected because I have reread my favorite scenes in this book like 50 times. I don't think that's exaggerating, but it was very cute. I love I don't know what happened there. I love Stas. I love Nate Hawkins. So this was very cute. It is a new day, so I'm starting a new audiobook. I am getting a little bit of a late start in the day. It is like 2 p.m., maybe 3 p.m. It is a very late start. So I am picking the shortest audiobook that I have, which I think is like 10 hours. I think this is like 9 something, so I'm rounding up, it's 10 hours. And that is Titan by Gillian Grave. This is a monster slash paranormal romance. I don't think it's paranormal. I think it's just monster romance. I don't know what paranormal is. I've also read this before, so I'm expecting it to be, once again, predictable, but this is a very fun book, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be just as entertaining on audiobook, so I'm really excited for it. Look at the cover. I think we know it's about to go down. Hello, Bestie Pops. It is a new day. Yesterday I finished Titan and it was so interesting on audiobook. I don't know if I said it, but Titan is like a monster romance and it was like definitely more smut, low plot, turn off your brain and just vibe. And that's exactly what I did. I'm also reaching that point in the week where I'm like extremely tired, and reading a book a day does take a lot out of me just because it's not in my norm to read a book a day. So I'm definitely like forcing myself to finish books just because, you know, the challenge. So I am really tired, and like the last thing I ever want is to like make reading not fun, and I low-key feel like I'm reaching that point. But I only have 3 days, so I think I'm gonna push through. And today, I already started The Nanny on audiobook. I've been listening to it all morning, but it's currently 4 p.m. and I wanna go on a little run. I am not a cardio girly, but I want to be, just because I want to incorporate some fitness in my life, some activity, moving my body around. So I was like, wait, why don't I do an audiobook while I work out? Because I always think of like music, working out, but like audiobooks. Duh. That's exactly what I'm gonna do today. I don't know if I'm gonna take my camera just because like the last thing I wanna do is like run with an extra 5 pounds, and I definitely don't wanna leave it somewhere where someone could pick it up. So the camera might be staying at home, besties. But I will vlog on my phone because that's how I'm gonna listen to the audiobook. Hello, Bestie Pops. Believe it or not, it is another day. I have my phone with me because that's where I listen to audiobooks. But yesterday I finished The Nanny and that was very, very good. I did not expect to like it as much as I did, but it was really, really good. It was very, very entertaining. I liked it. I thought it was really, really good, but you'll hear more of it in like my little wrap up at the end. But today I think I'm going to start Isn't It Bromantic? I'm really excited for this because I read the first 3 books in this series and I think they've all been 5 or 4 stars. So they're definitely like higher up in the ratings. So I'm excited for this one. Excuse my messy bed. I did not feel like making it for the video, but I really never make my bed anyways, so just excuse it. It is a new day, and every day this week I have felt like more exhausted just because reading when you're like forcing yourself to finish a book has felt like just tiring. It's like, oh my gosh, like I'm staying up like till 10 just to finish the audiobook. I'm listening to it like 24/7, like throughout the entire day. Like no matter what I'm doing, I have it on and there's just no breaks. At this point, it doesn't even feel like a hobby anymore. Like it feels like a full-time job to read. And it's exhausting. Like I'm tired. What day is it even? I think it's like we have 2 more days to go and I'm like, I just want it to be over, which I feel like I would never predicted me saying, because one, I love reading and I could like read forever, but I feel like when you're forcing yourself to read more than like you have the capacity to, it's exhausting. But here's the thing, it's not like I'm reading throughout my day and like that's it. I have like things to do on top of like reading 1 book a day. Like this is just another thing added on my to-do list, and so I feel like that's why I feel a little bit more exhausted than usual, and that's why I've kind of like want this to be over. However, I am super glad that it's an audiobook because audiobooks like allow me to like multitask and I can like work and listen or like, you know, do other things, where if it was like physically reading, I feel like I genuinely couldn't do this video. Like I don't think I could physically read a book, like 1 book a day, with the responsibilities that I have today. I'm not going to think about it too hard. I'm just gonna move on to Love Light Farms. So see you then. I know in this video I wear like my headphones or earphones a lot, but I do have a thing for like playing my audiobooks out loud, except for when it gets to like a weird scene where I'm like, ooh, I wonder if people outside my room can hear me, like my roommates. So I am going to play it out loud. So if it looks like you're just seeing me, that's why. Hey besties, welcome back. It is a new day and this is day 7. This is the last day. I almost said 6, but it is 7. I am losing it. This is one of my hardest challenge, I will say. I think this is harder than the 24-hour challenge just because it's so much longer and every day is just so consuming. I almost want to say this is putting me in a reading slump, but I won't say that. I won't put that in the universe. Anyways, it is a new day, it is bright and early, and I do have somewhat of like sad news to bring to y'all. Love Light Farms. I'm not gonna say I'm DNFing it, I am putting it on pause. So technically, I didn't finish it. I made it to 30%, and I feel like that is like when I read a physical book, if I make it to 1/4 of the book, I can give it a DNF. Like, I've invested enough time, and so I feel like with 30%, I gave it more than like 25%. So I just couldn't do it. So I just couldn't get into it yesterday, so I might try again, but today is a different day. Today is a big day. Today, it's bright and early because today is Twisted Hate Day. 15 hours long. I am determined to finish it in one day, which there's only 24 hours in a day. So how are we going to do this? We are going to do it regardless. So here we go. Hi besties, welcome to the wrap up. I'm going to be so transparent and honest, it has been quite a long time. It's been about 2 to 3 weeks since I finished my 7 books, but I just haven't filmed a wrap up. First off, I don't even remember the orders that I read these books in, so I'm gonna go completely random. But I want to share my experience first. This challenge was so much harder than I expected. I had no idea how difficult it was, how time consuming, how much like capacity you need in your day to read a book a day. I used to do this in high school, and so I was like, oh, I have experience, I know what I'm getting myself into. But like 16-year-old, not even 16, 18-year-old me is like so different than like 23-year-old me. It's not the same. Like, we don't have the same schedules. One is working, one was in school. It's just like different. I don't know why it didn't connect to me like, hey, you don't have the same schedule, you have to work and like listen to a book, so things aren't the same. I don't know why those two things never just in my head. Somewhere in between, I started feeling like it was a chore to read. Like I had to push myself. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a new day, a new book. Like, let me pull out the camera. It almost felt like exhausting towards the end. I think it was like after maybe day 3, day 4, I was like, yeah, I'm done. Like this, I just can't. Which sucks because like, hello, reading is my favorite thing to do. This is like mainly a booktube. I post a lot of other things like summer diaries and stuff, but I post like ton of book stuff. But I think like by the end of everything, like by the end of 7 days, I was in such a bad reading slump. I think that's why maybe I haven't filmed like a book wrap up until now. I keep on clapping. Like the idea of picking up a book and reading it was like, oh my gosh, like I don't want to do it. If it's a hobby, then I shouldn't feel that way. So like I just didn't read. Even with audiobooks, after listening to them for 7 days, I was like, I don't want to listen to audiobooks anymore. Like I'm tired. And I love audiobooks. Like I'm the biggest audiobook stan I know, but like when I had to force myself to read like every single day, I was kind of like, I don't want to do this anymore. Basically, that's how I felt in the end. And I also felt like I had to force myself to listen to books in places that I like normally don't. For example, in my backyard, if my family's in town, I like want to spend time with them and I want to connect. I remember I would be like, oh my gosh, let me just escape for an hour and like finish off this audiobook. Which doesn't make sense, but I was like so committed to the challenge. I was like, let me just finish it. Let me just finish it. After that, I just remember feeling like, oh my gosh, I just lost like time with like family, connection that I could have really enjoyed. And like an audiobook will always be there. I want to be in this moment. That's my overall thoughts. I really committed to the challenge and I really like read everywhere and anywhere I could while I was driving, while I was doing errands, while I was at the pool. I took out time from playing mermaids to read at the pool. But overall, I had fun. It was challenging, it was different, and I will probably not be doing this again anytime soon until my schedule frees up. But anyways, thank you so much everyone for watching. I hope you enjoy, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace. Okay, bye everyone.